welcome Ms. Preeti Bhatnagar, a strategic finance and tax professional with over 19 years of experience in audit, transfer pricing, and international taxation. She has been based in Dubai for past 5 years and has long associated with Marks Auditors and Consultants Group as a tax and transfer pricing consultant. She is also the founder partner of the Straight Meridian Consultancy and advises businesses on audit, tax, and cross-border regulatory matters across multiple, including US, UK, and Australia. May I welcome Ms. Preeti to take up the session.
Thank you so much, Zoya, for this wonderful introduction. And I would like to thank the whole entire tele team also for arranging this webinar on e-invoicing. E-invoicing is really a happening topic these days, and everyone wants to know what is this, how this going to impact our businesses, applicability. So many confusions are everywhere. So we will try to cover many of your confusions, queries within the presentation itself. If we could not clarify some of your queries, you can take your questions towards the end of the webinar. You can put it in Q&A. We will be taking up that towards the end of the webinar. So I'm now sharing my screen to present the presentation. Zoya, can you confirm, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let us start the presentation. What is UAE invoicing? The first important, most important question, what is UAE invoicing? Because many clients, customers, they are confused that right now also we are generating our invoices through an accounting software. We are sending it through email. Everything is electronic systems only. Is it our e-invoicing? Answer to that question is no. That is not e-invoicing. E-invoicing is when you will be issuing your invoices through ASPs in the structured format. The format is XML format. And the network to convert our invoices to the XML format invoices will be PayPal network. PayPal network will be serviced via FT approved ASPs only. There is a middle layer which is FT approved ASPs. They will be converting our invoices into electronic invoices. The old invoices such as those PDF, scan, JPG, which we are presently using, that is not e-invoice at all. That will be redundant in the future time. Only the XML format invoices will be accepted by FDA. So in short, in future, we will not be able to generate any invoice without electronically informing to FTA. Who is this FTA? FTA is Federal Tax Authority of UAE. They need each and every invoice information in their system itself. When our invoice is generated through this PayPal network with the middle layer of ASPs, and when it is received by FTA, it will be called, yes, this is e-invoice. Now, some more questions are coming. What are the objectives? Why we are implementing a new system? Because every time, whenever we need to adopt a new system, it is with some challenges. We will have to face some transit time, that some are in e-invoicing platform in phase 1, some are in phase 2. It will be some challenging. So what is the actual benefit? What is the reason behind it? So I would say that UAE government want to make their economy a digitized economy. UAE is investing a lot in this technology system. They want to automate their whole system with this e-invoicing system. That's why they are introducing this e-invoicing in many countries. It has already been introduced. So it is nothing that only UAE is implementing this first time. It has been introduced in many countries already. So another reason for e-invoicing is that at present there are so many templates of invoices in the market. Somebody is writing their TRN number of the buyer. At the upper side, someone is writing left side, right side, lower side, whatever it is. So what UAE want? They want a structured, same defined format for each and every invoice, which will make it a proper structured format and it will convert the invoices in a machine readable form so that FTA can extrapolate the information themselves, because they are having, or they will be having, full information on the invoices in their system. They can easily extract the data from there itself. So that is the meaning of e-invoice, and that is the objective behind it. So for this UAE e-invoicing implementation, they have issued many circulars, even the detailed guidelines via 23rd February 2026 guideline. They have issued so many circulars and detailed guidelines on this. I have put the reference here. Now let us go to the framework. How this e-invoicing system going to be workable? There is a five corner people model. We have heard this word a lot, five corner, five corner. Basically, I would like to tell you what are these five corners first of all. Corner one will be my supplier. Supplier, right now, as we are issuing the invoices, we are called supplier. We will be corner one. Corner two and corner three, these are ASPs. ASPs are who? They are FTA approved accredited service providers. And corner 2 and corner 3 are mandatory layer. Because sometimes we are getting this query, okay, without ASP, can we generate e-invoices? No, not at all. That is not optional that you take the service of ASP. It is a mandatory requirement by the UAE government that you need to take the service of any of the FTA approved ASP to convert your invoice into electronic invoice. So corner 2 and corner 3 are the ASPs. Corner 2 is supplier's ASP. Corner 3 is buyer's ASP. Corner 4 is the buyer. Buyer is the receiver of the invoice. In present days, what we are doing, we are issuing our invoice. Corner 1, supplier is issuing the invoice, and it is directly reaching to corner 4. It is not crossing corner 2, corner 3 at present. But in future, these two additional layers will be there. Corner 5. Corner 5 is a very critical and important corner here, which is our FTA, Ministry of Finance, Federal Tax Authority. They will be having all the information because it will be sent to corner 5. Definitely, that is the main purpose behind it. So these are the 5 corners. Let us discuss how this model will actually work. So this is the working model. First of all, supplier, which is my corner 1, they will be issuing the invoice, right? So what will happen? They will send this invoice to supplier's ASP. In our case, if we select Tele as our ASP, Tele will be our ASP. It will be converting our invoice into e-invoice. Okay. Then from supplier's ASP, this e-invoice will go to buyer's ASP. Buyer's ASP will be your it can be Tele as well. It can be other ASP as well. It depends upon which buyer has selected. So buyer's ASP will again do validation and the invoice will be sent to the buyer, which is my corner 4. So this is my corner 1, 2, 3, 4. Now corner 5 come to the picture. Corner 2, supplier's ASP and buyer's ASP. They will be sharing this information parallelly to FTA. They will be doing supplier's ASP would have been done that validation work. Validation work means that they must have satisfied whether all the mandatory fields are available in the invoice, whether everything formatting as required by FTA has already been done in the invoice itself, that everything will be taken care by supplier's ASP. Afterwards, it will be transmitted to FTA. FTA will again send one acknowledgement also that yes, your process is completed. You have sent the electronic invoice to us. So after this, my process for one invoice will be completed. Now it looks like that it will take too much time, that 1 corner, 2 corner, 3 corner, but it will not be the case. It will be in real time only. When you just press the button that my issue electronic invoice, yes, it will be generated and it will be routing through all these systems because systems will be integrated from the back end. We don't have to be worried about it. Then whether it is reached to FD or not, we will be getting a report in our system itself as acknowledgement. Yes, FTA has received. Yes, buyer's ASP has received, like this. So we don't have to be worried about it. What we need to be worried about as a client or as a consultant, as a customer, that our master data is clean and clear. Every information is clean and clear in our master data because we will be generating invoices from our data itself. If there is some incorrectness in data, that will be a problem. So we need to be careful about data. Other things are taken care by the ASPs itself. We don't need to be worried about it. Just we need to select the proper ASP and it's all will be done just with push and button. Nothing to be worried about it. I know this is a new system, many challenges people can face, but it will be just for a few months only. It will be gone through. Yeah, now let's talk about its timelines. That is, as per ministerial decision number 244, they have given phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 timelines. In addition to that, there are voluntary phase, pilot program also. But that may not be much of use for many of us. The voluntary phase is going to be started from 1st July 2026, and the pilot program is also going to start from 1st July 2026. It is only for those companies who have given the written consent to participate in this. So for many of us, that may not be relevant at present. For us, relevant is first of all phase 1 businesses. So for phase 1 businesses whose annual turnover is exceeding 50 million AED, they are coming in phase 1. So first of all, let me just break down this annual turnover thing, because many clients are getting confused that whether it is my standalone turnover, whether it is my group turnover. So let me just clarify you, it is your standalone entity turnover only. In case you have 7, 8 entities within one group in UAE itself, only that entity which has crossed this 50 million AD threshold turnover for the latest financial year accounts, they will be coming in phase 1 only, right? And phase 1, if the client is clear, okay, I'm coming in phase 1, then they need to appoint the ASP by 31st July 2026. We don't have much time. It is very near date. So whoever is coming in phase 1, please get alert. Just start the process of appointing your ASP as a, because your clock is tickling. Next would be go live date, that will be 1st January 2027. Go live basically means that all the invoices will be generated through e-invoicing system only from this 1st January 2027 date for phase 1 businesses. So this will be for phase 1. Let us talk about phase 2 businesses. Whatever is the remaining businesses, maybe due to turnover threshold, or maybe new companies are being set up during this year. So for those companies, those businesses, the deadline to appoint the ASP is bit delayed. It is 31st March 2027. So for phase 2 businesses, we must note down this deadline. And for them, go live date is also 1st July 2027. There is a gap of clear 6 months. So in nutshell, from 1st July 2027, majority of businesses will be on e-invoicing system only, whether their turnover is above 50 million or less than 50 million AED, they will be coming in this e-invoicing system. So now the question comes that how we will appoint the ASP. That is also very simple thing, although Tele is also taking care of that thing. But just for information sake, we need to go to Imaratex portal. There is a tab of e-invoicing on the left hand side. When we click that e-invoicing thing, we will get so many FTA approved ASPs. Out of that, we can select one ASP that will be onboarding. After that, the system will ask to verify some validation or email ID, phone number, etc. thing. After doing that, it will be linked to your Imaratex portal and it will be called appointment of ASP. That will not take more than 5 minutes. So appointment of ASP is not a big issue. But yes, before appointment of ASP, we need to clear all the commercial terms with the ASP, etc. thing. So that may take time, but onboarding will not take much time. Now, if we talk about the phase 3, that is related to the government entities, and appointment ASP date is similar for them, which is 31st March 2027, but go live date is bit delayed, which is 1st October 2027. So I hope I have clarified this revenue threshold, which is a most important question. We are getting many queries on that whether it is my branch turnover or my group turnover. So again, I would like to clarify, this is your standalone entity turnover, and standalone entity itself needs to select ASP. In case you have 7, 8 entities, 4 are coming in phase 1, all 4 entities separately will be appointing ASPs in their Imaratex portal system. So be clear with it, because in case we are missing any of the deadline, there are penalties which I will covering in the next after few slides. But in case we are missing any of the deadline, there are penalties that have already been announced by FTA. So we need to be careful. We need to be alert about that also. Yeah, now let's talk about the applicability. So whatever the business in UAE, most of the businesses e-invoicing is applicable on. Many people are asking that we are not VAT registrant, whether it is applicable on us or not. So for that, I would like to clarify very clearly that VAT registration is not a criteria at all, because it's confusing for many entities, business models, that we are VAT exempt. So just be clear, VAT registration is not at all a criteria to determine the e-invoicing applicability. So whether your business is in free zone, you are or you in a mainland, and you are a UAE resident business entity, with even the government entities, even in some cases non-UAE established foreign entities who have registered for UAE VAT law for tax invoices, it is applicable on them also. They all will have to issue electronic invoices for sure. So they are entities in scope. Next, let's talk about which transactions type are in scope. So one thing is very clear since beginning, that B2C transactions are excluded. B2C means business to consumer transactions. So those transactions we don't need to report in e-invoicing system. But except that all B2B transaction, B2G, G2B or G2G. So business to business, business to government, government to business or government to government. All those transactions will be reported in e-invoicing system, means for all these transactions, we will be issuing electronic invoices for sure in upcoming system. So I hope the scope is clear. Only B2C transactions are not to be reported. That is the main takeaway from the slide. Now let us talk about the exclusions. Yeah, FTA has already very well clarified in their detailed guideline dated 23rd February 2026, which were the latest detailed guidelines, that which businesses or transactions are excluded. So only this business or transactions are excluded. That is a very small list, except that everything is included, as we already discussed. So it is as per the article number 4. So B2C transaction number 1, we have already discussed that there is no obligation for the supplier to issue electronic invoice for B2C transactions. So next exclusion is sovereign government activities. They don't need to issue any electronic invoice in that case, airline passenger transportation. And in case of exempt financial services also, they don't need to issue electronic invoices. So except this, each and every business, I would say majority of business will be covered for sure in e-invoicing system. Now, this is one more interesting thing, which in the detailed guideline, they have clearly mentioned that in case there are some intra-VAT group transactions, for that, they have just given a timing relief. It is not a permanent relief at all. It is just a timing relief, like our deferred tax asset and liability. So it is just a timing relief. For first 24-month grace period, intra-VAT group transactions are not to be reported in e-invoicing system. UAE government is giving some time that, okay, you just settle down with your system, but after 24 months, your each and every transaction will be reported with e-invoicing system. Actually, this intra-VAT transactions are required for transfer pricing. So after 24 months, which will start from 1st January 2027 and it will end on 31st December 2028. So for these 2 years, we don't need to report intra-VAT group transactions. Rest need to be reported. So in that case, it is not exemption that you don't report your B2B transaction also. We need to report our external transaction, which are B2B or B2G. Only intra-VAT group transactions are not required to be done through e-invoicing, not to be reported to FTA. One more thing I would like to clarify, that when we will be onboarding our ASP, as I clarified you that individual entity will be onboarding ASPs separately, and accordingly individual TIN number will be used while doing this linking through our Emaratex portal. What is this TIN number? TIN number is nothing. It is just first 10 digit of your TRN number. That will be your TIN number, which we need to mention while linking the ASP on Emaratex portal for this e-invoicing system. And after 24 months, I have clarified you that it will be a full compliance. So it is just a temporary relief period. Next is 51 mandatory fields. We are listening this word again and again. Oh, there are so many mandatory fields. We need to report so many things to FTA in our invoice. It will be too much for us. It's not like that. Maximum fields are already covered in your invoices. There can be few additional only, which will be required by FTA in the new electronic invoice system, which will not be a big issue for many of us, because it will be informatory things only. Like one important thing that will be added in PayPal ID. PayPal ID will be mentioned in all the invoices. What is this PayPal ID? PayPal ID is basically that 14-digit ID which will start with 0235, and it will be adding 10-digit TIN number, which I already clarified you. TIN number is my 10-digit, first 10 digit of TRN number. So 0235 and first 10 digit of my TRN number, this will make my PayPal ID, which I need to share with my suppliers, buyers. That will be exchanged. It will be like my telephone number, mobile number, as we exchange to connect. So why this PayPal ID will be needed? Because when we will be issuing the invoice, as I clarified in the beginning, that supplier will be issuing the invoice and supplier's ASP will send this invoice to buyer's ASP. How will he be knowing that who is the buyer's ASP here? It will be through PayPal ID only. So that is a PayPal network through which a PayPal ID will be given to everybody, and that ID will be used to generate e-invoice, to transmit e-invoices. So I have not mentioned the 51 mandatory field list completely. I have just categorized in few categories, like core document data will be there, invoice number, issue date, due date, those type of information will be there. Yes, there can be a problem of format, like some may be issuing mentioning the dates in DDMMYY, some may be issuing mentioning the date MMDDYY. So in that case we need to do this as per the FTA requirement, but still that will not be a problem because ASPs are managing those type of formatting and mandatory field requirement thing themselves. They are clearly telling to the clients, customers, consultant that these fields are mandatory field. If any of the field is missing in your e-invoice, our invoice can be rejected, I would say, from FTA or buyer's ASP. So if next is my supplier's information, my buyer's information, like TRN number, address, etc., my line item details, quantity, unit price, net amount, etc., then some summary information like aggregate totals on VAT. So these 51 mandatory fields are a mandatory requirement very well. It is not an optional that, okay, I don't have this information, can I leave it blank? No, it's not like that. Sometimes that may create a problem, like in case of deemed supply, FTA has clearly given detail in their detail guideline also, that as in the case of deemed supply, which is like free gift samples, etc., in that case we don't have any buyer, we are just giving free samples. So what will happen in that case? In that case, FTA is saying you need to mention 0235, and they have given a code also, that what you need to mention in buyer ID. We cannot leave it blank. We need to mention something which is clearly given in the guideline, that in that case what you mention. So these type of clarification are already being received from FTA, and I think in future also we will be receiving much more clarifications on this, that in case this information is not available, what to fill in that column. So we don't need to be worried about it because many queries are already clarified by FTA already. But yes, what we need to worry about that our master data is having all these mandatory fields in case we are not taking any address information or contact number, any information you think that right now customers and client are not mentioning in their invoices or in their master data, they can start taking that information, they can start maintaining the data itself. And if you need complete list of this mandatory fields, it is available very well on FTA website. And in case you want, we can also share to you via email. So that everyone is aware what exactly these fields are. Now, this is electronic invoice categories and transaction type. Why I have mentioned this here? Because when we will be generating our e-invoices, we will have to select which category and which transaction scenario we are doing this invoice. Like as a general tax invoice we are generating these days, it will be our electronic tax invoice. In case our invoice needs to be cancelled, we need to rectify. If a buyer has said, oh, this invoice is not correct, this may happen in beginning so much that please change the invoice. These were not the terms we agreed on. This may happen, but in the new e-invoicing system, we cannot rectify our issued invoice because it has already gone through the system. Corner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we need to do in that case? We need to issue the electronic tax credit note. That will be the only solution in that case. In case you have not issued the tax invoice, it will be your commercial invoice, which is my third category in the document category. Fourth category is electronic credit note to cancel the commercial invoice. So these are standard billing document categories. The other two categories are self-billed electronic tax invoices and self-billed electronic tax credit note, which are basically used for those buyers who are issuing the invoices on behalf of sellers themselves. So that will be the case of self-billing. In that case, they will be choosing the document category as self-billed electronic tax invoice and self-billed electronic tax credit note in case they need to cancel the invoice. In the beginning, I'm damn sure that there will be so many credit notes issued in comparison to earlier days or present days, because in the beginning there is so much confusion. Oh, that was incorrect. So due to that reason, and we can issue credit note. That's not an issue at all. We don't need to be worried about too much that in case any incorrect tax invoice is issued, what will happen? Nothing will happen. We will just issue credit note. Nothing will go away. Okay. Next, after document category, we need to know about the transaction scenarios. This is also very well written in the guidelines that whether you are in free zone, you are doing deemed supply, margin scheme, summary invoices, container supply, disclosed agent billing, e-commerce or export, whatever it is. You need to prepare electronic invoices for sure. There is no exemption for any of these categories that because some people are saying we are in free zone. We are just doing exports. We are doing out of scope supplies, zero rated exports. Are we exempt? Do we need to still issue electronic invoice? Answer is yes, we need to issue electronic invoice for sure. So that yes, when we will be doing export or free zone, these type of transaction, we need to select while preparing the electronic invoice. That's why we need to know these transaction scenarios very well. That okay, out of these, in case we are doing any of these type of transaction, we need to select it. After selecting it, there will be few additional information that required to be mentioned in the invoices, in the electronic invoices, I would say. That's why UAE government has given this transaction scenarios for to be selected. So in this case also I've got many queries regarding export specifically that we are doing a zero rated export, out of scope supply, etc. High C sales. Everything is covered in electronic invoicing system. We need to issue electronic invoices. Just the thing we need to be clear about whether we are in phase 1 or in phase 2. That's what we need to clarify. But as a transaction, as a business model, we are very clear on this that we need to issue the electronic invoices. So be ready, all the businesses. Yeah, no. These are penalties. Although I know with the help of Tele and other ASPs, definitely our journey will be smooth. We will not be having penalties at all. But as a consultant, it is our duty to tell to the clients, customers that what will be the cost of non-compliance in case we miss any of the deadline. So for that, this is by the UAE government itself. Even at the time of mentioning announcement of e-invoicing, they have clarified their penalties in the beginning itself, that in case you miss the deadline, these are the penalties. So as per my view, we need to know the penalties for sure. So let us just discuss. There are basically three categories of penalties, which is mentioned in 6 points. First category and first point is related to in case we could not implement this e-invoicing system or we could not appoint the ASP within the prescribed timeline. Prescribed timeline, I have already mentioned in the beginning slide. That is for phase 1, 31st July 2026, we need to appoint the ASP and go live date 1st January 2027. And similarly for phase 2 we had mentioned. So in that case, if any business misses that deadline, there is a penalty of 5,000 per month. So even there is no maximum cap also, that is a penalty per month. So if it is delayed by 2-3 months, it will be multiplied by number of months. Next, second and third category penalty is if we have implemented all the e-invoicing system, we have appointed the ASP through Imaratex portal, but we could not issue invoice due to some reasons or within the timeline. Timeline basically here it is actually the real time we need to issue invoices as electronic invoice, but FTA has still given 14 days maximum time period. So that in case of some issue, you can take your time, but within 14 days, if you could not generate your e-invoice or you could not transmit the electronic credit note, the penalty is 180 per invoice or per credit note. But in that case, there is a cap which is maximum 5,080 per calendar month. So for a month, it will not exceed 5,080. And fourth and fifth, sixth point are related to 1,000 per day penalty. That is basically related to in case of any system failure, because we all know this is e-invoicing is on the basis of the ASP system. Buyer's seller system is connected to the ASP system is connected to the another ASP, which is buyer's ASP system, FTA. So it is all systems connection everywhere. And system can be failed also. That is not a big thing. That may happen. So what UAE government want, they are saying in case of system failure, what you need to do, you need to notify authorities that this is the issue, and due to that reason, we are unable to generate invoices. So in case we are not as an issuer or recipient, if we are failing in that category, the penalty is 1,080 per day. The sixth and last penalty is basically related to changes in the registered data. So in case a registered data, say address, mobile number, etc., if there is any change in that data, what we need to do as a issuer or recipient, we need to notify the ASP that this is my changes, please update in the system. That is very simple thing. But in case we are failed in that thing, penalty is again 1,080 per day. So I hope nobody will be facing the penalties at all, but still implementation is very much required. We need to do the timely implementation of this e-invoicing system to avoid all these penalties at all. So this is now the action roadmap. What the businesses should do right now, what is going to be implementation and go live stage. So as a consultant, I would advise to everyone that right now we need to clean up our master data. In case some fields are missing, something incorrect is there, please review your master data as it. Because why I'm saying about this, in case there is some incorrect information in your master data, and that information is transmitted through ASPs to FTA, it will be incorrect information in the FTA also. So it will be like garbage in, garbage out. And afterwards, when FTA will start correlating that data, will start auditing, etc., there can be a problem during audit that incorrect information was given to FTA. So that's why I am pushing everybody right now. Please clean your master data, do the gap analysis, whether your ERP is able to generate all the 51 mandatory field information or not, except that PayPal ID, etc., because that will be that will be helping by ASPs only. After that, cleaning, etc. thing, we need to select our ASP. In many of us and many of SMEs case, it will be our tele, which will make our journey a seamless journey for sure. We are also waiting for our clients to select tele as an ASP for them. So after selecting onboarding, we need to do the onboarding via Emira text. That will be my implementation stage. Then we need to do some system integration and testing that maybe take place for the big ERP system like SAP Oracle. That may take system integration timing, testing timing. But I think with Tele, it may not take too much of time in this testing, etc. thing. It will be very seamless and a smooth process that will be done before go live date, because before go live each and every business need to do sample testing whether their system are able to generate invoices as per the requirement of FTA, because that is the main objective here. Why we are doing this awareness sessions with the clients, customer consultants, because our objective is each and every person is able to implement the system timely and they can generate their invoices through electronic invoicing system. So 2 3 things I would like to put again, that ASP selection, accredited service provider selection, is mandatory thing. They need to be FTA approved only. There is no option at all. We all need to determine our applicability, like phase 1 applicability or phase 2 applicability. And if we are in phase 1, we need to follow the timeline. If we are in phase 2, we need to follow the timeline of phase 2. We should not miss any of the timeline. And for the 5 corner model, one thing I would like to clarify, that FT will also give acknowledgement. So we don't need to be worried that, oh, if from my system, if I had sent the invoice, what will be happen at the FT end? FT will send an acknowledgement. In a technical term, that is MLS. So they will be sending acknowledgement. So that is all action roadmap which we are suggesting to everyone. Now, this is the last slide. This is my profile from my side. In case I tried to explain many of the queries in the presentation itself, in case I could not explain few of the queries or few of the business scenarios, you can either put your queries in Q&A or you can email us also by mentioning your turnover as well as the business model. In case of any confusion, we can help in clarifying the confusion, or you can take the help of the consultants who can clarify you about the applicability of your business transactions.